Marco, thanks again for showing us some of your vineyards, particularly San Lorenzo. And for 2023, we were really impressed with the quality. It's a fabulous wine. I think one of the best wines in Italy released this year. And what makes San Lorenzo 2023 so spectacular?
Well, a combination of a lot of things. We don't really know exactly why this year was so fantastic in San Lorenzo. It was a difficult year with very low production, often over ripening because the problem was that the production was so small and there was a dry vintage. And so it was a question of, trying to work in the cellar with spectacular grapes that tended, if you weren't careful, to over extract, because the thickness of the skins was such that we were afraid that we would extract too many tannins and this and that. So really what we were very, very careful as to how we did the maceration fermentation, which I think was a question. But there's also probably some luck involved. You're choosing the right moment to harvest, and you never really know when the right moment is, and whatever happened, and the result is quite extraordinary. It's the first San Lorenzo that I think that has this quality and perfection, this balance between the structure and the richness and the elegance that shines right through. Before this, there was always a little, edgy kind of rustic element, great wine and whatever you want, but it had this little imperfection there that was, and I thought that was really part of its character. Now maybe it's not part of its character, and we understand something. We try to understand something more. That's all.
And what would you say if that was our Italian wine of the year for James Suckling and Corriere della Sera?
Jesus, I'd be very, very, very happy. There's no question about it. Very, very happy indeed.
And it's been a long time coming. Honestly, I remember being here with you back in the beginning of 2000s. Yeah, even before you released a wine. And it's just amazing to see what you've done and created here in probably one of the most mystical and amazing wine producing areas and vineyard areas in the world.
It is. And because of that, it's difficult. And because it's difficult and potentially so rewarding, it's a big responsibility. Because let's say if you fuck up someplace which is not so important, it's one thing. You're not doing such a loss. But here you are. And luckily, and this is true everywhere, luckily, Grand Crus have a tendency to make it easy for you. It's the quality of the terroir is such that even if you neglect it, which we don't, but even if you do, and a few times in history it's happened to us, they still give you extraordinary quality.